At this point, Mike, after this weekend, I feel embarrassed for Bill Belichick because he seems small. Right? Like this controversy with him in the CBS This Morning interview, just it makes him seem small. And really, I go, this was a guy who was the greatest head coach that we've ever seen in the NFL, and now look at where he's at. He does an interview with CBS This Morning and airs on Sunday morning, and, you know, probably the most softball of softball interviews, except Belichick and his girlfriend, 24-year-old Jordon Hudson, make it a little weird.
It's about promoting a book, for crying out loud.
I mean, it should be the easiest thing. The interviewer is asking questions about them and about their relationship, and because it's Bill Belichick wants her CC'd on all his emails. She's always around. She's a constant presence. Was right next to him during the interview the entire time. But this is the moment that went viral when the question was, "Hey, how did you guys meet?" And then Jordon Hudson pipes in from off camera, "We're not going to talk about it."
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
We're not talking about this? We're not how you met? Like, that's the easiest question in the world. Like what? Like,
but that's the thing. The story has been they met on a plane.
On a plane, right?
That was the story.
Book. Yeah.
So what is the truth at this point?
We're not going to do that because that opens the door to, because again, that was something that everybody knew. They met on a plane. He autographed it. They got in touch and they started dating. Now it's like, whoa. Is that really how you met? Now, is it now by trying to shut it down and trying to, I mean, she seems like Lady Macbeth at this point, like I'm just running everything. There's no reason to shut. That's a very innocuous question. Hey, how'd you guys meet? No, we're not doing it. Whoa.
But I mean,
okay.
It is CBS This Morning. The power of CBS News. Maybe she knows that he knows, right? Like it was you asking Lock and Four questions you knew Steve questions you knew the answer to earlier. Who's got the best record in baseball?
Yeah.
You went lawyer on him because you knew. And maybe she thought, this guy, the bright lights are there and he knows.
This is the most decorated head coach in the history of the NFL, and he looks like a B-teen movie adult. You know, like he's like Eugene Levy in the American Pie movies. Like that's what he is now. I'm embarrassed for the guy. He's like
big boy.
He's like a cartoon character. I mean, like this is just this relationship and all the talk about it. And again, I can't get past 72 and 24. You know it all. And this goes further than my whole, hey, significant others, family members never help when they want to jump in to defend you when something is going on, right? When someone's wife or someone's husband wants to defend them, or a family member, a mom or a dad, it never goes well. Family members need to it's not your fight. I get what you want to do, but it never helps. You're trying to help that person. It never helps. And this is a case here. This never helped. The girlfriend doesn't help the boyfriend. Places boyfriend doesn't help the girlfriend. This is that situation.
Well, but it always comes back to, and you send a lot of texts back out, right? We talk about stories for the show, but to your friends, family, to Pam, or me, to whoever. At this point, it's the you don't know how they're going to receive it. There's no ambiguity here. We're not talking about it.
Yeah,
like it's one thing to say, we'd like to keep that private.
Yeah,
or just go with the plain story at that point. See what the interviewer does, but by saying we're not talking about that, like. Okay, now you've made it adversarial. Now you've made it a problem, and you made it for sure, because this was what came out of it, was CBS went out of their way to make sure that was included.
Oh, they put everything in.
Because evidently she chimed in a bunch, is what the backstory is. So while they didn't show all the interruptions over the course of the interview time, they made sure to at least point out she was omnipresent.
Yes. Well, they showed her standing next to him. She's right. She's right over there. I mean, really, I'm embarrassed for Belichick. I'm embarrassed for him at this point. I just everything going on. I'm like, what's happening here? I mean, and the whole thing with the emails that come out, because now that he wanted her CC'd on him, they all become public. It's like she's, pushing how things should go. This is Bill Belichick.
As a state employee, yeah.
I mean, how do you feel if you're North Carolina? Did you hire him, or did you hire him and his girlfriend? I mean, come on, man.
Well, I mean, if she can legitimately handle logistics for him. the pesky emails
it's more than that. It's more than that.
But now if we're talking, she's now director of player personnel.
No, this is all Steve Belichick and taking over and his image. Whoa. I mean, I'm like, what are you? Like, I don't know if Bill Belichick is in such part of the IDGAF part of his life where I just don't care. I'm 72. I'm dating a 24-year-old woman, and I'm coaching, and I don't care. I really don't. I get it, but wow, man, look at where you were. Did getting knocked out of the Patriots, was it that big a deal? Was it that big?
I would say this.
Did that hurt that much?
The response that he gave of I don't really worry about what people think. I really hope that in his heart and in his brain that's true. Because otherwise, he is a tortured soul right now.
With
what we saw here.
I'm just, he's so much more diminished of a presence over the last few months with everything else going than he ever was.
I want the hard knocks. I really want a deep dive on that.
I mean,
let's go back and let's bring that back into existence.
To go from that to where he is, where I just feel every time a headline comes up, I cringe. I go, oh, what's happening? Is something good happening?
And you're also saying we got beat by this guy for 20 bleeping years?
Oof, man. A little bit more on that Bill Belichick, Jordon Hudson story that spread like wildfire this weekend. The interview with CBS News that aired yesterday, absolute train wreck. She interrupted a lot during the interview, including one point, we played it for you a couple minutes ago, where they asked how they met, and she said, we're not going to get into that. TMZ has this story, this kind of add-on that they just published on more of what went on during this interview. And TMZ reports that Jordon Hudson interjected many times and corrected Belichick during the interview, including when he was talking about football. Bill, I'm sorry. That was Vinny Testaverde, who was the coach, who was the quarterback of the Jets. So she's interrupting him many times during the interview. At one point, she got so mad and she stormed out for a half hour. Again, this is TMZ's report. She stormed out for a half hour. They had to shut down filming. Belichick, they stopped, and they were able to finally get it going later on. And the big money quote from TMZ on it is that according to this report, they're told that people at North Carolina are concerned about her influence on Belichick's tenure by saying, quote, there's a growing sense this could become a problem. So
could be?
First of all, they haven't played a game yet. So, I haven't played a game yet. But first of all, I want to say, I really want to see the video of her correcting him when he's talking about football. I really want to see that.
That would be something.
He wouldn't let any reporter say anything about football. Oh, you're right, Jordan. No, you're right. Yes, I did say that. You're right. Yes. I did say Alabama Mac. No, you're right. I did say Alabama Mac. Yeah, I did say that.
Now, here's the thing. Are we hitting a tipping point between lampoon and concern?
No, that's what I mean. Like,
you know what I mean?
Right now, well, look, Bill Belichick's a 72-year-old man. Okay, so this is a guy that's making decisions here, and now he's and she's Lady Macbething this.
But that's my larger question in terms of his decision making.
He's 72 and he's
dating. Do we have an issue going on beyond the hey, I'm dating a 24-year-old? I'm talking when we start getting into cognitive and other things. Do we have another thing to worry about here?
I think that's something you would find out as the coaching went on in Belichick's coaching, but there's been no reports of anything like that. I just said, look, he's 72, he's dating a 24-year-old, and he's like, hey, I'm living my best life. But like, they showed up for the interview. Nobody else from North Carolina there. No PR people there. There's always a PR person there in every interview an athlete or a coach does, because a PR person has to know when to shut an interview down and when to ask questions. Nobody from the school was there. It was just Belichick and Jordon Hudson who showed up together for this interview.
If nothing else, just keep hyping the book. The manager comes out here. Here's what we need. Here's what we'd like, the selling points. Here's the points we'd like to talk about from the book. That's usually the PR people taking care of that.
And the thing is, CBS News is like, it's a Sunday morning show. It's like, we're not going to throw fire at you.
This is an institution, man. CBS Sunday morning. I had relatives that had no interest in the world at large. It was sports, movies, beer, and cigarettes. But they watch CBS Sunday morning religiously.
While having beer and cigarettes.
Well, I'm not saying they didn't, but it's and a nice cup of coffee.
It's 8:30. We're going to turn on. Charles Gibson, was he CBS?
Carrault.
No. Charles Carrault is on.
Gibson was Charlie.
Oh, that's right.
He was
NBC. I had the Charles wrong. I had the Charles wrong.
That's right.
I had Charles in charge there for that. I mean,
now you're getting political by bringing up Bayo.
No,
nice job, buddy.
This is not. No. This is. I see this and I go, this influence that she clearly is having over him just doesn't make sense for a guy that's run everything one way his entire life. And I get your thought, well, is there any thought about it? But hey, he's coaching. Everything is going fine. He's flipping recruits and everything else. I mean, we would hear something like that. But like just the fact that she's in on this and now she's as mad at taking over. And it just, I feel like, who are you, man? Who is this guy that just lorded over the NFL for 2 decades and you can't even count his Super Bowl rings? And now here you are where, your 24-year-old girlfriend is running interviews and causing situations and causing controversy. Like, how did you let this happen? Like, how did we get? It's like Breaking Bad, the very beginning of the pilot episode, right? It starts with Walter in his underwear and a gas mask driving the RV, and you're like, what the hell is this? Probably the greatest opening in TV
Drop
history.
you right in, yeah.
It's just, what the hell is it? And then you find out, like, how did we get to here? Where here's Walter in his underwear and a gas mask driving an RV at unsafe speeds in the desert. Like, how did we get here? Like, that's how I feel for Belichick. I'm like, this is a scene where he's in his underwear driving a thing. How did we get here? How did we get here?
What happened in that gap year is really what we're asking.
He backpacked through Europe, and that's what he did.
This is the solution.
Yeah,
I'm going to date a 24-year-old, and I'm going to really the life that I built, the regimen, the consistency, the constancy, the rule book that was tattered and dog-eared, all of that. Burn it down.
I stayed at some hostels. Made sure to stay away from the ones from the movie. I saw the 2 of them. Weren't really great. I just wanted to make sure I didn't see that. Beds were lumpy, but it's okay. We went through Germany, Austria,
bunch of hippies.
United Kingdom, came back down, went through Greece. All this is how it's done. Yeah.
It really is an interesting study. Like I'm interested in the book. Curious as to what she let go by, right? As his editor now.
Ooh, good luck.
What happened there?
Good luck, Bill.
I wish those kids a lot of luck.
Good luck.
I just hope he's okay. Like, and I say that with all sincerity. My daughter works part-time as she's going to school, and eventually nursing is the vocation. In the interim, she's working at a place where folks are dealing with different stages of dementia, and she tells me a lot of stories. And
let's just say that there's no evidence.
There's no evidence of that. I'm just saying I'm a hypersensitive to it.
Okay.
Given everything, I hope he's all right. I'm not trying to cast aspersion.
He's doing interviews.
Yeah.
And he looks and he's coaching. He's seeing everything seems fine.
No,
right?
I'm not trying to cast aspersion, but we get into suddenly change direction 180 degrees of the person that we've watched for since he quit the Jets, right? When he made that memo on a napkin to this point. It's just a curious change. That's all. So we try to find explanation.
This story is going to continue to. This will be a hot story this summer. Suddenly, Belichick coaching North Carolina is becoming the biggest story in all of college football.
Sure.
Everything we've seen because of the relationship with Jordon Hudson, where things are, this is now going to rival Deion in Colorado as what do we pay attention to this year? What are the biggest things going in? There's 2 stories right now going in. Deion in Colorado, Belichick in North Carolina. And as time gets closer and closer, it's going to be Belichick and this ramps up. And what can he do? Can he win games? I mean, really, this has become a story that will take over in this summer. It's going to start taking over now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where the holes and the gaps in this timeline is, right? Because he got fired, had a couple of years, made some decisions with his coaching staff that clearly were fails. Right, let's take a defensive coordinator. Let's make him the offensive guru. It didn't work. Mm-hmm. We take a guy that had a really good rookie season, and absolutely obliterate his career. Not that he would have been great shakes necessarily long term, but you go back to the first year. It's like, hey, this guy might be okay. He's not Brady, but he could be okay. Yeah. And then he falls off a cliff. So it's like we had a couple of years of the football side where, all right, I'm going to throw darts and take big shots. And now you have this where you can't even answer a question about how you met somebody.
Oh, no, he could have answered the question. He was told not to.
But the fact that he's listening to her to not, I'm like, what happened?
That's his girlfriend. That's the person he goes home with at night. Doesn't go home with the guy doing the interview. Doesn't go home with the cameraman. Doesn't go home with anybody else in there. Goes home with a girlfriend. Okay.
I'm just worried about the guy at this point. That's all.
I
hope he's all right.
I think look, he's fine. Everything looks fine. Belichick looks fine. Everything looks